was all right yesterday, wasn't it? As days go, I mean, the voice says everything, but as days go, I've had much worse.
Can we, first of all, say commiserations to Bolton Wanderers? That's probably a good place to start. I thought they were completely outdone on the day yesterday. I thought it was probably quite embarrassing from Bolton Wanderers' point of view. I certainly wouldn't have wanted to be a fan of my team in that away end, turning up at Wembley and putting in a performance like that. I thought it was really, really below par from the standards that Bolton Wanderers have set themselves this season. And the inquest will begin. We watched Ian Everett's interview on the way here on the tube. Something on the lines of maybe not the worst thing in the world to lose at Wembley, which I know that's not a direct quote, but probably not the best way to go about it. I don't know whether his job's in jeopardy. That's maybe a chat for another time. The main focus of this video is the happiness and joy coming out of this man, who I'm so happy for. I'm so pleased for him. He deserves it. Congratulations to you and Oxford United. You've got a fly in your hand. We'll
outdoor filming, mate. We're not used to the outdoor filming.
Outdoor broadcast. We'll see you in the Championship next season.
Yeah, to carry on the point with Bolton, because there's going to be an inquest into what went wrong yesterday, and
rightfully so.
I think what Ian Everett was speaking about, how they lost.
Yeah.
You know, losing at Wembley, losing a game of football.
The fashion of it.
It's the fashion of losing that game. And I said before, and it's not a game of I told you so, it's not about who's right and who's wrong, but I said, normally, one team turns up, one team doesn't. On the occasions like that, one team turns up and one team doesn't. It was one of those games where you sort of watching it as an Oxford fan with disbelief, and I imagine Bolton fans are also watching it with a sense of disbelief as well, because they've worked so hard, through the campaign as much as we have, but with different expectations for them. And there was almost a sense of they got the tone of the game wrong. They got the occasion wrong, actually. They got the feeling of themselves, I think, caught up in the occasion. And they just weren't at the races. They were not the Bolton that we've seen all season. You could not identify with that Bolton Wanderers team and compare it to what we've seen across the campaign. And nor can Ian Everett. I
was lucky enough to be sat 2 seats away from you. Your brother was in between us at Wembley, and we were saying, weren't we, God, Oxford has started quite well, first 10 minutes. Yeah. Oh, first 25 minutes have gone quite well. First half an hour, Oxford looked quite good. And then you're kind of thinking, well, what's the flip side of that from a Bolton point of view? They haven't really come out the traps at all. They've barely got cracking. And I don't know whether it was a nervousness, maybe it wasn't having too much of the ball. And we said at half-time, we were like, well, all the kind of the build-up to this and everything that we'd spoken about during the week and in the build-up was Bolton were going to control the game and Oxford would catch them on the break. And that's just completely not what happened. If anything, it was the complete opposite. I thought Oxford had total control of that game. Yep. And I think we were saying the longer it goes on at 0-0, the better for you. In the end, you managed to get a couple of goals up at half-time and things are looking pretty comfortable and easy. Can we talk about Josh Murphy, by the way?
What a boy. What a boy.
And I said to you about particularly the second goal, which I was immensely impressed with. He's got so much to do. The first touch takes it around the keeper. The second touch means the ball ends up in the back of the net. He made it look effortless. At Wembley, your team's 1 goal up, an opportunity and a shot at the Championship.
You've already scored as well.
You've already scored and you go and do that. Genuinely, the ball comes over. He beats the offside trap incredibly well. And we were thinking, is it going to get checked for VAR? It probably did, and it was onside, which is great. But he times his run perfectly. As I said, the touch to take it round the keeper, who's Nathan Bax has left in complete no man's land. He's round him. He's at the dead ball line, and he has, as you say, the composure to finish as he did with aplomb. World class.
Jake behind the camera.
What an occasion.
With aplomb, eh? There's a joke going into it. Is it a free hit for Oxford? It wasn't a free hit. A playoff final is never a free hit because you don't walk there. You don't accidentally get there.
Nope.
You know, Bolton maybe across the season deserve to be there based on more points, and that's probably where it was. Bigger investment, a club that wants so desperately to get back into the Championship. That side of things is there. But from Oxford perspective, it was never a case of we're just going to come here and enjoy the day. Of course, you are going to do that. But when you start playing football, and when the players probably walk out, they go, "Hang on, lads, we've got a chance."
You must be so proud.
I am, and it was before the game as well. It was before the game. It wasn't just a game of football. That was enhancing the pride, but going into it and seeing an army of yellow, seeing the fan zone like it was, seeing the pubs like it was, seeing us turn up with 30,000 Oxford United supporters. And it was a case of, regardless of what happened, you knew that we were going to have an incredible day out, and we did. And then, you with us in the Oxford end, it was a party for a lot of it.
It was a privilege.
It helped that we scored, first and then doubled our lead at half time. The atmosphere then definitely was, in our favour. But I thought going into it, even though we were underdogs, even though we weren't favourites, I still thought there was a sense of everybody coming together and going, yeah, there's something here for us to sort of, I said it before, give it a go. We lost 5-0 to Bolton a couple of weeks ago.
A world away from that yesterday.
And I said, don't embarrass yourself. That's why I said, don't embarrass yourself and don't lose on penalties. That was sort of my mentality going into it. And I think, put in the most mature, diligent, convincing, comfortable playoff final winner performance in a very, very long time. And to say that about your own football club, with everybody, your family there, at a place where, I also spend a lot of my time, I think that's even more special, I think.
So two things on that. The first thing is, and I know your dad will be watching this, my favourite moment from yesterday of everything, and you won't have been privy to this, viewer, so I'm going to let you in on a little secret, is there were 9 minutes added on here yesterday at Wembley, and on minute 97:30, your dad turned to you and went, "We've done it."
Yeah.
And he goes, "We've done it. We're in the Championship." And
I've got goosebumps just thinking about that. Really. It's weird, really weird.
For 10 to 15 minutes before that, pockets of Oxford United fans were going, "We are going up." The Ward family were completely not interested in that whatsoever. No, we're not up yet.
I think it must have been the 77th minute, and I looked over my dad and he started doing it, and he just looked at me and went,
"Yeah." But then on 97:30, Steve just went, "We've done it."
I think we've done it. He looked at my granddad, his dad, he looked at my mum, my brother, me, and then you were at the end of that row, and he just turned to us and went, "Boys, I think we've done it."
And it was a real privilege to see that, and it was, and you don't want to get too soppy about it, but the emotion that it conjured up in you and your dad and your brother, the outpour at that full-time whistle, the amount of times you just went, "Yeah," on the way out.
I just looked at, because you kept saying to me, you said, "Drink these moments in."
I did.
You said, "Drink these moments in, enjoy
Take it all in."
And mentally take a screenshot of what you're seeing. I looked over to that yellow wall behind, and we were just to the side, we were around the corner flag, and obviously behind the goal it was bouncing. It was an incredible, look, really. When you looked at that, you went, "Yeah, this is why we." It sounds cliche. This is why we love this football. This is why we love this sport, because, especially the third tier of English football. And we said before, what an advert for League One football. What an advert for English football in general. He said 70,000 supporters coming to watch a game between Oxford and Bolton. That is unheard of in most countries. I'd say all countries, sporting-wise. So, yeah, immense pride. Let's talk about the Championship, because I can say it now. Oxford will be one of 24 teams competing in the Championship next season.
And to finish fifth was a bit of a surprise in League One. You're now in the Championship.
A managerial change in all
From
of that.
From where you've been at points this season, yeah.
Look, we've had an up and down season, but
tumultuous, some might say.
But it's definitely ended on an up.
Oh, it has.
If you can end on highs.
It's always good to end on highs,
We've ended
mate.
on one hell of a high.
Always end on a high.
How do you... I mean, we probably asked you this multiple times when Pompey did it, but now, knowing that you're going to be accompanied by me for at least a year...
Oh, yeah.
At least a year.
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel about next season?
I'm incredibly excited. I get
so
to make
excited.
Championship content with you, mate, and everyone gets to watch it. It's going to be amazing. Yeah, no, I said before, I'm so excited for you. You get to go to Bramall Lane. You might even get to go to Ellen Road. I hope you don't, for obvious reasons, but we'll find out about that in about a week or so's time. I'm assuming this is quite a quick turnaround on this video, so people might already know. It's today, right? It's remarkable. It's something that will probably take a week or two to sink in, maybe even slightly longer. Until we lifted the trophy on Southsea Common, it didn't really sink in for me. There are so many amazing places you get to go. There are so many brilliant teams that you get to play next season alongside us. We're going to have such a great ride of it. It is going to be a real... And if this season was anything to go by, this season was a season to remember. Bear in mind, as Oxford United fans and as Pompey fans, we're going to lose a lot more games next season. Put that out there now. It's not going to be... I'm not saying this season was straightforward by any stretch, but it's not going to be as maybe plain sailing at times when you're on a good run and wins are coming quite thick and fast, and it's quite straightforward seemingly to win games. And look down the barrel of that lens. No more Papa John's.
I mean, I think who was it? Was it you last night that came up to me and went, "Jack, There's no more Papa John's games. And I went, I think that's the best thing out of all of it. Forget the prize money. Forget, promotion to the Championship. Third round of the FA Cup. Cheers, Nappers.
When do we join the Carabao Cup? Is that third round as well? Second round.
To conclude, because it is getting busier.
You're in the Championship, son. That's to conclude.
That's a big conclusion. And we're very hungry. Our beautiful camera crew are also very hungry as well.
We're going to a Stadio Lounge, if anyone knows it. Nice place,
I've
apparently.
been there a few times.
Have they got a full English breakfast in there?
They've got full English.
I want to buy Jakey and Nappers a full English breakfast. I think you should for the camera work,
Yeah. Put those cameras down, boys.
Congratulations, you've done it.
We should say thank you. We've done these reflections. We've done it in different places. We've done it in my home. We've done it virtually in that home. And now we've done it outside looking at the best stadium in the world. We've had a pretty good season. And we've had a good season generally, but on the pitch as well, we've had very good seasons. And, without sounding too soppy, I'm so glad that we've done it the same season. And you couldn't really write it, could you? We both go up in the same season. You do it by winning the league, and we do it by winning the playoffs. You couldn't really, it's cliche, you couldn't really script that.
No. I don't think you'll ever see anything like this ever again, to coin a Martin Tyler phrase.
Martin would have loved it last night.
I did, yeah.
And you kept saying drink it in.
And we should drink it in.
I drank a bit. I drank it in both metaphorically and literally.
We drank it in winning the division. We drank it in as champions. You've drank it in as playoff winners. I think we're all quite full on drink. And thank you as well for having me. It's been amazing.
Yeah. And we don't have to stop.
And we'll see you next season in the Championship.
There might be a few underachievers. Imagine the underachievers. Bolton have lost. Underachievers, Pompey and Oxford
have to pay for that.
Yeah, tune in.
Paywall stuff.
That's next season.
Next season.
I was going to say underachievers that Pompey and Oxford lose 5 games in 1 month.
That's the problem, innit? We might both end up on 20 points. And we should also say as well, thank you to you at home for joining us too. It's been an absolute pleasure to bring you these every month. And I couldn't have done it with anyone better by my side, apart from maybe one of these two.
Yeah. That's where I'm going to finish up. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Good luck to Crawley and Crew fans today as well. Because I'm
backing Crawley. Are you backing Crew? Are you backing Crawley? Who are we going for? We're not going, by the way, dressed like this.
No, we're not. I believe our camera crew are.
Yes, camera crew are going.
Yeah, we're not. we don't.
I'm going home. I've had enough.
I'm not dealing with those little things. I'm joking. We're the big leagues now, guys.
It's been a long weekend.
See you later, everybody. Croaky voice. See you in a bit. Take care. Love you lots.